Okay, hey guys, back. New round just started. Don't worry, you didn't really miss much. Probably killed like 2 zombies. So, as I was talking about, Shinonuma and Riese. Now, I have a lot of good memories about Shinonuma. Mainly just trying to get those achievements like Big Baller and Soul Survivor. And it was around this time where everyone was all trying to look for methods, and I think it was around with like Shinonuma where the methods of like training zombies and getting them around really got popular and got widespread. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's opening up the area to the fishing hut and then just running around in that big circle with the Wunderwaffe and maybe a PPSH if you're trying to get some points. Now, it was around this time that I look back very fondly. Watching Horse's videos, I really miss him. And the Van's videos. Yeah, I really miss Morris. But, Shinonuma was like that map. Like, it was the map to really get circling and training really kick-started, I guess. I'm trying to find good words, but as I go along, I can't really find them. Now, Shinonuma and Riese are probably the two most memorable maps for zombies, in my opinion, because they introduced both of those concepts. Like Shinonuma introduced the concept of running around, getting zombies all in one area, and taking them all out with a few blasts. Whereas Riese introduced a lot of features, like the Pack-a-Punch, and teleporting, and just, things like that. Now, these maps were just great, and I remember, just looking back in the days, I just remember after Riese was released, there was all those rumors about, oh, will there be like a map pack 4? Oh, there's definitely gonna be a map pack 4. And like Von der Reich, with all those special weapons and those perks like vodka breath and God, those were some good times. Those were definitely some good times, Like, oh, they're gonna release a new map sometime in September. Oh, it's gonna be called Von der Reich. Oh, there's gonna be like a new harpoon gun. Yeah, that never happened. I remember kind of feeling a little bit crushed that that didn't happen, but I wasn't really surprised because with Modern Warfare 2 around the corner at that time, it just didn't seem very plausible. Like, why would that happen? And apparently there was going to be a map pack 4, and Kino der Toten was supposed to be in it, or so the rumors say. And I honestly, I don't know. Like, did it happen? What was that supposed to happen? Was there supposed to be a map pack 4? Honestly, I'm not too sure. If you can find me some like confirmed evidence or something, please like comment it, because that'd be great. But I think I'm getting a little around the point. I just like going back and just thinking about everything from the past, like that. I remember playing Shinonuma, I remember playing Riese, I remember playing these zombies maps. I would love to like put on some music, specifically like Coheed and Cambria, or Korn and stuff like that. I could really, kill zombies to that. Those were some good days for me, I was like 10th grade, having some great time. It was just a great period for me. A great period of time for me. It was, I don't know, looking back, this life was much more simple. Where the thing to get like really excited for was the new map pack for World at War, because you knew zombies was going to be in it. And I remember everyone, and still to this day, like people just wanting the map packs for the zombies. And I remember all the things like people were saying back then, and they're still saying today, like, hey, you gotta create a zombies-only game. And, you know, now that I think about it, would that really work? Because I have a feeling that if they made a zombies-only game, it would be more... It would deviate a lot... Or, like, it would deviate far away from the zombies we know right now. Like, if it had missions and stuff like that, would that really, like, be beneficial to the zombies' name? Because I just can't see it being like what we have right now. It, to me, it would feel much more like any other zombie game than, you know, be the thing that really gives it its charm. Like, it would be far more different than what it is today. Like, Transit, like in Black Ops 2, it looks like it's gonna be somewhat different. Like, from what I saw in that, like, they don't have rounds. I think it's just going to be more of like a time thing like you can do on the World at War mods, where instead of zombie rounds, you get, the zombies get, just keep spawning, and they get progressively tougher as the time goes on. You know, as opposed to having rounds, where every round the zombie gets more powerful.
Too bad there's not a hot-sounding chick counting down those numbers.
Now, you know, I'm super stoked for Transit, but I'm just saying though, like if Zombies was its own game, I don't think it would be able to work as well as it does right now.
Okay, hell pigs.
It wouldn't be the same zombies that we know. Like they could tack on a survival mode and, you know, just have separate maps made for this, but I just can't see it working very well. And I'm sure like, don't get me wrong, if it came out, I'd be happy, but, you know, at the same time, I'd still be kind of sad that, you know, it wouldn't be the same zombies that we know right now. Like what you're seeing right now, you know, would this still occur? I don't think so. But I digress. You know, I have a thing where I'm just really obsessed with memories, like my memories and stuff like that. And I remember discovering GK Nova 6 with the rest of the internet. And, you know, I remember getting hyped up for the new Call of Duty game that Treyarch's making, because by that time I was already sick of Modern Warfare 2, you know, I was sucking at it, you know, by then there was already noob tubes everywhere, one-man army, danger close, you know, all that crap. And, you know, I just kept thinking about it, I was like, well, will they even have zombies in the new game? Because, I mean, in the description for Riese, they said, is this where it all ends? So, understandably, I was a little concerned, and a lot of the Call of Duty Zombies community was as well. Like, if you were a fan of Call of Duty Zombies, you were kind of, you know, speculating. You were kind of worried. Are they gonna even do it? Which kind of makes me loathe Treyarch a bit for that sense, because, you know, it's one thing to tease us, but then it's another thing to basically just, you know, do that kind of thing to us, where don't even mention until like like a few weeks before the game came out. I think the first we heard about zombies was when we found out in the special editions that you got the old the four classic maps. And it was leaked in like a GameStop thing, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's great! That's great!" I still remember some people thinking, "Well, what if they just remade the maps for multiplayer?" That has got to be the most stupidest thing I was hearing at that time. But I don't mean to like badmouth the people. I'm just saying that's just a wacky notion to think that they would do that. But anyways. This back at Call of Duty XP, we saw the trailer that they had made for Kino der Toten. Now, I don't know Like, I personally, I don't know if they had made that and they just decided not to show it to us, or if they had made that for Call of Duty XP. But either way, if we had seen that, a few months before the game came out, man, everyone would be so hyped for that. Just even watching that trailer, I just knew that I would have been super excited, and everyone else knows that they would have been super excited, and I mean, it was amazing. That trailer was amazing. I wish that they would do similar trailers like that for the other maps. In my opinion, they kind of got lazy in that regard. Like, they didn't really do trailers for it. They would just include it in the DLC trailers. I mean, they did do like a Call of the Dead one, but it would just didn't feel the same. But then again, they were trying to go for that. Like, it was originally a zombies movie, but then it deviated into something much more different than that. You know, it turned real. So they had a theme with that trailer. I like that. But the Shangri-La trailer, it wouldn't have hurt to, you know, have it play in the similar vein of the other trailers. And Ascension, for that matter. That would have been great. That would have been amazingly great. And Zombie Labs. Zombie Labs were cool, but they gave us like zero information on our moon. Speaking of moon, man, I remember back in the days of like when Riese came out, and if you had a PTRS and you looked up at the moon, you could see those 5 orange dots. Or was it 6 orange dots? I really should have checked in this video, but I guess I wasn't really thinking. But yes, like the 5 orange dots, and from that moment, I just, something in my mind just told me, there's gonna be a map on the moon. I told my friends that, and they were like, oh, you're just full of it. There's not gonna be a map on the moon. And then when Ascension eventually came out, I was like, oh, this just further proves that we're gonna get a map on the moon. And they're still like, no, you're just crazy, man. You're just crazy. So suddenly, moon happened, and part of me was like, ha, screw you guys, I was right. Another part of me was like, holy crap, I was right. Like the whole community was right, because I remember a lot of people were like speculating what maps were gonna come out, and the moon was definitely one of them, and so was Area 51. You know, that's why I love Treyarch. Treyarch knows what we like, what we would love to see, and they'd make it. And for the last map, they felt obligated to make Paris, because, you know, in the Riese photos, we saw pictures of zombies in a theater, so zombies in front of a lighthouse, or was it just a picture of a lighthouse? I think it was just a picture of a lighthouse, but, you know, eventually we got, you know, Call of the Dead, and then there was a picture of the zombies in front of the Eiffel Tower, and they were gonna make a Paris map, like they said that at Call of Duty XP, and I'm pretty sure like the console code name is, you know, Zombies Paris, and, you know, but they also knew that we also wanted a map on the moon, and a map in Area 51, or we were really speculating about that, and, you know, just basically playing in the middle, they gave us both Area 51 and the moon, which was genius. That was just amazing on their part. I just wish that they would have fleshed Area 51 out more and made it like a separate area of the map entirely, like basically 2 maps in one, instead of just having the no man's land. But hey, I'm not really complaining. It was a great idea. I love No Man's Land. I love Moon. It's great. Now, I think I'm gonna have to cut this one off a little bit, because, you know, hitting the deadline mark, you know, about like 50 minutes or so. So, yeah, I guess with the little closing remark until part 3, rather. is basically, jeez. I'll, I know. I'll talk about the zombie maps in Black Ops. But until then, I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.